Hey everybody, welcome back. I debated with myself back and forth on whether or not to film this as a voiceover or like in real time video. And also this top down situation is not typical for this channel. But this is really the only way to do it, or the best way to do it for me personally. I'm going to be working on my very first reading journal, and I'm going to be using this bullet journal really for no other reason other than I have it, and I already started it. Like, I tried to use it as a bullet journal in the past, and it just didn't work for me. And I don't think that's because bullet journaling doesn't work for me. I think it's just because at that point in my life, it just wasn't a good idea. So I do have it, like, there's stuff in here already, about this much, like, has stuff in it, but we're going to use the rest of it as a reading journal. So I'm going to show you all my supplies first. So there's my journal that I'm using. I don't actually know, like, what, oh, why is there something sticky on my desk? That's gross. Let's just get rid of that. Okay. I don't know what brand this is. Well, there's the ISBN, I guess. You could look that up. It's from Chronicle Books. I don't know. I've had it forever. So there's that. And then I got out, excuse me, the three like bullet journal sticker sheets that I have, and some of these will be useful, some of them won't, but I grabbed them because why not? So I have the Happy Planner journaling sticker book, and just do a quick flip through. Like, these, like, squares and stuff will probably come in handy. So there's that, and then I have the journaling doodles, which is mostly decorative stuff, or maybe all, I'm not sure. There's some, like, bucket list stuff on here that I won't be using for this, but there is some reading related stuff in here too. Okay. And then I have this one from the Paper Studios Agenda 52, and this is just called Bullet Journal. And this one does have, like, a color scheme to it. So my thought was, if I use these, I can kind of try to stick to the color scheme roughly. I don't really care about it being super perfect. So I grabbed these highlighters that kind of sort of match the colors. They're not perfect, but I don't really care about it being perfect. I have 3 mild liners. Do these have names? I don't know if these have names. Yellow. So violet, yellow, and this one's in Japanese, so can't read that. And then I have one Sharpie S note, which of course these don't have names on them, which is super annoying. But those are the 4 colors that I have to kind of go with this. I don't know how much of these I'll actually end up using, but just in case I do, those are the colors I'm going to be going with for now. And then I have these. Okay, stupid fly. I have these so I can use, like, the date things. I won't be using the holidays, I don't think. Excuse me. But those were just kind of laying around, so I grabbed them because I figured they could be handy. And then I have these. I guess my thought process was, if I get around to doing my like October stuff, which we're in October right now, then I could use these. But then I wasn't considering the fact that I have to do all of 2023 first, and then I'm chunking together like the first 7 months of this year. And obviously none of that is going to be, well, not most of that is not going to be like spooky themed. So I don't know why I specifically went for like spooky themed stuff. Probably again because it's October right now, but I didn't think that through. However, I can just use these on my book review pages if it's like a spooky book. So that's totally fine. And then these I printed out. The book app that I use, which is Bookshelf, to keep track of my collection, what I've read, like all of that. It does have, it's not perfect. The whole like stats page needs some work. But if you go on there and I clicked on 2023, it'll take you through all your stats for the year. And then at the end, there's like these 2 pages that you can print out. One is like all the books you read and then a few little stats. And then it'll tell you like your reader type, which I don't know, that's what it gave me. So those I'm going to be putting at the end of my 2023 pages. And I debated even printing this one out because I was like, is that pointless? Because this shows all the books I read in 2023. And then I'm also going to be doing my own like spread of all the books that I read in 2023. But I figured it's different enough because I'm going to be putting my star ratings on that other one. So yeah. For 2024, this page, I don't know what it's going to look like because I'm going to read significantly more books than I did in 2023. So I don't know if it'll be able to fit all of them or what's going to happen there, but I figured we just do it. We just try it. So I have all that. And then I have a bunch of stuff that's printed. So excuse me. My allergies are not happy. In this pouch, I have all of the books that I have read this year. I think everything before September. So I have these like little ones. These are printed on sticker paper. I have these little ones for like my reads of the year, like my spread of all the things I've read for the year. And then these larger ones are going to be the ones that I put on the review pages, which honestly, looking at these, I probably could make these bigger next time, but we're just going to go with this size for now. So those are all of the ones for this year, like January through August or something. So I don't know if I'm going to do those in this video. These ones are all the ones for 2023. And then I also have these like little titles printed. And not all of these are actually even going to be used for 2023. So I don't know why I have them in here. I don't actually need any of these for 2023, but it's fine. That's fine. But yeah, I have things like Alphabet Reading Challenge, which I won't be doing till even next year. So author backlists, which I'm not sure when I'm going to end up doing that. I don't know if I'm going to do it once I'm caught up currently or next year. So series review. This one I'm going to need to print more of because I do plan on doing like a spread once I finish a completed series. I want to do a review spread on that. Mostly these are kind of, if I need multiples, I didn't print multiples. This is mostly just, I don't know, to see what I don't know. I don't know. Monthly favorites. Obviously, I'd need more than that. 2025 book buys, book tracker. Maybe some of these I do need for 2023. Oh, I need the rating system for this one. Yeah, so I don't know. I printed some of those. I'll definitely need other ones, but that's that for now. But these are all the books that I read in 2023. So I have my small versions and then my larger versions in there. And then in this pouch, it looks like chaos, but in here I have these mini star review stickers, and these are going to go with my mini book covers. And then I have the large star review stickers, and those are going to go with my large book covers. And then I have these for when I do my TBR spreads, which I won't be doing a spread for my TBRs until I get up to September, which I have to do spreads for all of these book covers that I printed before I get to that, but that's fine. So these are going to go under the book covers on my TBR spreads so that I can mark off when they've been read. Because obviously I will not always necessarily get to all of the books on my TBR, but I would like to see a spread on them. Anywho, that is that. I did kind of go through and like sketch a few pages. But I feel like I need... Oh wait, I pulled out some washi too. So I just pulled out some random things. These don't really match the colors perfectly, but they kind of go with them. This is a black with, I don't know if that's silver or hollow. I think it's silver. It's kind of hard to tell, honestly. I think it's silver though. Like bow outlines, this pinky color with gold bows. This kind of planet one, but I figured it matched the purple a little bit, and this one too kind of has the purple and the pink. And then this yellow was the closest yellow I had, and I figured I also might as well pick it because it's almost done, so I could use that up. And then this one is gold, but with like this reddish purple, like red and purple little arrow things, little gaps. So I picked that. I didn't really have a red washi to go with the red of the color scheme. So like, again, these are rough matches. Not even really matches, just esque. They're color scheme-esque. And then also I have my Halloween washi that's just sitting right here, which I figured I could probably also use on the pages where I use the spooky stickers. So I have those as well. Mostly I just have these here because all of my October daily stuff is like sitting up here where you can't see it. But yeah, I was just thinking though that I might want to film my video of organizing all of my planner sticker books before I do this, because I know I'm going to want to like fill in gaps and stuff with decorative stickers. And I think, I don't know. Do I have enough Maybe I'll just go with the bullet journal decorative stickers that I have. I'll just deal with those for now. I think I can do that. I feel like I'm making this more complicated than it needs to be, but I'm kind of nervous about doing this for some reason. I don't know, but I kind of just don't want to mess it up, but like, I just need to get over it. Okay, so I need a pen. Why do I not even have a pen? You guys, I'm so unprepared. So unprepared. Let me get a pen. Pen is acquired. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. There is our 2023 reading cover. Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. Gets it done. Okay, so rating system is going to go here. I kind of feel like I want to put some decorative things down before I put rating system down, though. Okay, so for the rating systems, I'm gonna put my large star thingies and then fill them in for the corresponding ratings. I might run out of these now that I'm thinking about it, but I can always print more, it's fine. Okay, but before I put those on, I'm going to kind of lightly erase these. Maybe fully erase them. And then I'm gonna take a highlighter. Okay, I think now that I've explained everything that I'm using and maybe my general thought process, I don't know if I explained that very well, but I think now I'm going to kind of speed everything up and do a voiceover now. I think that's good. All right, so we're working on the rating system. Honestly, I'm alternating between the colors of highlighters that I chose, but honestly, this color scheme ended up being kind of pointless because I didn't end up using any of the stickers from that sticker book that I pulled this color scheme from, but it's totally fine. I don't hate it. It's not like I wouldn't choose it for no reason. Like I wouldn't be like, oh yes, these are the colors that I really want to go together. I wouldn't do that, but it's totally fine. It's not a big deal. And honestly, this is all from 2023, so this is all from last year. I kind of just want to get 2023 done so that I can catch up on 2024. That's going to take a while because for some reason, I underestimated entirely how long it would take to do 30 full page book reviews. And also, sorry if I cough. I've been having issues with my asthma lately, and it's just not. There's like literally no point in the day where I could guarantee that I'm not going to be coughing up a storm. So, apologies, but we gotta just push through. So, I'm doing the ratings from 5 down to 1, just because in my head when I think about it, that's the order I think about it. I think about it either from 1 star to 5 star left to right, or but then I also like simultaneously think about it with the 5 star up at the top and the 1 star at the bottom. That probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but to me, I want to put the 5 at the top. Also, I feel I give way more 5-star reviews than I give 1 stars. A book's got to be something real special and terrible for me to give it a 1 star. Um, so I would rather see the 5-star at the top. I'm sure that's probably definitely over explaining, but who will? So the top of this, I did 2023 reads, and I did the 2023 in yellow highlighter, and I'm not going to bother going back and changing anything about it, but the yellow highlighter is definitely a lot lighter than I thought it would be, I guess. But it's totally fine. I mean, you can still read it, but it just doesn't stand out the best. But it's totally fine. It doesn't matter. I'm going through and I'm putting the mini covers for all of the books that I read in the year, and then underneath them I'm putting my mini star reviews so that I can put my reviews on all of them. I swear I reviewed all of these in the app that I use to keep track of all my books and like what I've read and everything. There were like a handful of books that didn't have a review on them. There are some that I know I gave a review in there, so I don't really know what happened. It was very strange, but it's okay because I ended up giving them just a review now because I remember all of these books and how I felt about them, which is, I mean, good, I guess. I am surprised, but it's good. But I mean, it's also good because that means I can do my reviews, like my large single page reviews. Some of them are double. But I can do my review pages really easily because I still remember all of the books and how I felt about them. Oh my gosh. I am putting them all in the order that I read them. So that's nice. These little star review things were so annoying to get the backing off. Some of them had, like, I guess the back of the sticker paper that I used has like a slit running down it, and some of them like ended up with that slit, so they were easy to peel off, but some of them were not so easy. So let's see if I can kind of like go through when I read these books with you guys just real quick. Okay, so in January, I read the first 3 books, which are Desperate Measures by Katie Robert, A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee, and The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. The Midnight Library, I have no idea what happened to my copy of that. It just poof, vanished. I don't know where it went. It's just gone. It was on my bookshelf, and it's just gone. I have a sneaking suspicion it may have been stolen, but it's fine. I did give that book 4.5 stars, and I would like to own it again, so maybe I'll have to buy a second copy. That's just really annoying. So on this page, I decided I wanted to do like a highlighter border around where the book covers are going to go, just because I wanted something else there. I don't know if it ended up being like a successful idea, but it's fine, and I like how the page looks overall, so it's fine. It's not a big deal. And then I just have some washi, and I'm sticking some of those same flower stickers down. The washi, I mostly wanted to use up the yellow washi because it was almost gone, and I do actually end up using it up in this video, which is awesome. I can't remember the last time I used up a washi roll, but my washi has been so neglected for so long. I really, really, really want to get back into using it regularly, and I think with the reading journal, it's gonna make it easier to do that. So that's awesome. In February, I read one book, which was the Disney manga Nightmare Before Christmas thing with like Sally trying to save Halloween Town. And then in March, I read 2 books. Both of them were audiobooks. One was Sacrificed by Bella Klaus, and the other one was Animal Farm by George Orwell. In April, I read 2 books. One of them was an audiobook, which was Carmilla. And then I read Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Carmilla is by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. I don't know. And then June, I read 1 book, which was The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. That book was not what I was expecting. I wouldn't say it was bad. It fell not, I can't really say it fell flat for me. It just wasn't what I was expecting, so I went into it with inaccurate expectations, and I feel like that just never really works out unless you have really low expectations, and then usually I end up liking it more than I expect. In August, I read 1 book, which was Dracul, and that's probably my favorite book of 2023. I absolutely loved it. 5 stars, so good. September was when my reading started to pick up for the year, so I read 4 books in September. All the Murmuring Bones by A.G. Slater, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match by Sally Thorne, and No Escape Clause by Sophie Ryan. Yeah. Those were some interesting reads. A couple of them were good, and a couple of them were not. In October, I read, wow, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 books in October. So I read Gothicana by Runix, and I really love that book. I'm really frustrated though, because the ending of the book makes it like, it's not even that it leaves it open for a second book, it's that it makes it very clear that the author intended for there to be another book and there's not another one. So personal problems, but I really want the second book. And there was at one point information about there being a second book, and that has not happened yet. Then I read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and then A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, Before You Sleep by Adam L.G. Neville, which was like excuse me, it was, I don't know what you would call it, like, it had like 3 different short stories in it, like spooky short stories, and I really enjoyed that. It was on KU. Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw, Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, and A Court of Frost and Starlight. No. A Court of Wings and Ruin was the last one for October. Then I read all of the rest of the books in November, which was A Court of Frost and Starlight, Pretty Girls Make Graves by Stephanie Holmes, Brutal Boys Cry Blood by Stephanie Holmes, Bird Box by Josh Mallerman, Half Truths by Claire Contreras, The Silence by Susan Allett, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. My favorite book of the year was Dracul. I definitely think I could say that was my favorite book of 2023. It's not my highest rated, because I did have like 4 or 5 other 5-star rating books, but I think I could easily say that was my favorite. And then my least favorite, which is very easy to pinpoint because it was my only 1-star read for the entire year, that was Iron Flame. We're not going to get into it because I literally could go on for hours and hours. We're just not going to get into it. So then I had this kind of like awkward space down here, and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't want to like keep like piling stickers on it because it looked weird to me. So instead, I drew a little box with a highlighter and I wrote average rating so that I could go over, and like I ended up calculating the average rating. The app that I use to keep track of my books has a long way to go, honestly, with its stats. It's kind of frustrating, actually, because I don't know. I swear the app like deleted some of my ratings, so I have to go back and do them. But um, you can only know your average rating, like, let me get my thoughts together. So the way that the stats page works is there's like a trends section where it'll tell you like the amount of pages you read for a certain time period, the amount of time you read for, the amount of books you finished, your top categories, your reading streak, your reading speed, your average rating, all those kinds of things. But the problem is you can't like, the only time periods you can choose are the last like 7 days, 30 days, 12 months, and all time. You can't like pick a year or pick a month. It, or like choose your own date range. So it's very irritating, like for somebody who wants to be able to see those things, like more specifically. It's difficult because, like, say I go to the 12 months and then I want to know my top categories, it doesn't break it down by month. It'll just tell me my top categories for that entire 12 months. And I don't even get to pick like what the 12-month span is. So now it's giving me stuff from 2023 and 2024 because I'm not looking at it exactly at the end of 2024. It's kind of annoying. um so I mean, in order to see the stats like specifically for 2024 or for a specific month, I have to be like on the ball about going to look at it exactly at the right time, which is just, it kind of makes me feel like this app is not designed by avid readers. Like, I'm sure it's designed by people who read, but it doesn't feel like it's designed by people who read as much as I read, or at least don't like keep track of the things that I like to keep track of. Okay, I don't know what I was saying because I got interrupted, but long story short, the way that the app does, like, allows you to view trends is just really annoying, and I hope they change it. I know there are other apps that give you like better trend visualization, but like I would have to, if there was some way like I could export my library from this app and put it into a new one, I probably would. I just don't want to have to like re categorize or like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to have to go back and put in my library into a new app all over again. I just don't want to have to deal with that, and I like that this already has like the list of books that I've read and everything, and I don't want to. Also, if I did that, the app would need to have a way for me to like specify the date that I finish it on. This one doesn't have that, which is also very annoying. There's a lot of things about this app that I did not realize were very annoying before I realized this was the one I was going to, or before I decided this was going to be the one I was going to use. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. I would need a way to like say, this book is finished, but I finished it in 2023 on such and such date. This one, at least not that I've seen, you can't do that. Like, you just click finish and it's like, oh, you finished it on the day that you said you finished it. And you can't like backlog things, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But whatever. Anyway, right now I'm kind of flipping back through the amount of pages I think I'm going to need for the review pages to stick these at the end of the year. Spoiler alert, I was wrong and I need more pages than this. Luckily, the sticker paper comes up pretty easily. I mean, like, very easily if you pull it up. It's, like, not at risk of coming off, but if you pull it up, it comes up, which is nice. So I am starting my first review page, and I am going to be reviewing them in the order that I read them. It just makes the most sense to me. So first up is Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. I only read this book because the person who lent it to me was like raving about it and about this series in general. And at the point that I read this, I was like wanting to get into reading more. And when I say get into reading more, I mean like not become more interested in it, but like actually start reading more, because I was not making it a priority. I like had a lot of books already, and I just wasn't reading them because I wasn't making it a priority. And when this person lent me this book, I was at the point where I wanted to like actively start making reading a priority. And they were raving about it, and I didn't have to buy it. They lent it to me, so I was like, sure, I'll read it. I did not like this book at all. Wasn't for me. It was not for me. I like retellings and reimaginings, but I think I'm not a fan of contemporary retellings of fantasy stories. But honestly, that wasn't even what put me off of this book. So maybe I can't say that. Maybe I just feel that way because I didn't like this book. But really, the reasons I didn't like this book didn't have much to do with that at all. I just thought this book was, first of all, this book was just not, it was not well written. It was not well written at all, and that's fine. Like, I don't think a book has to be a literary masterpiece for someone to enjoy it. I think at the very least, I should be able to expect that there's not going to be constant typos and misspellings and inaccurate uses of words. But, you know, there are a lot of people out there who do not pay any attention to the quality of the writing of a book as long as they like the story. That's not me personally, but if that's you, fine. I think my biggest issue with this book was that it attempted to open up with like a CNC situation. And if you don't know what that is, you can go look it up. I'm not going to explain it right now. But, and if that's your thing, totally fine. Like, I don't, what happens between two consenting adults is not my business, and I really don't care. But in this book, I don't like the way that it was handled, because, and like reading about it in general, like that's not a problem for me. I can read about that. But I don't like the way that it was handled in this book, because it felt like just a convenient excuse to force them into a sexual relationship, and B, it didn't actually feel like the first C was part of the CNC. It felt more like it was NC, and the FMC was just really, really stubborn. That's how it read to me, and it made me uncomfortable. And I just don't like how it was handled. I don't like how it was written. And then the story itself was just, it was okay. The second half of the book was leagues better than the first half of the book. I will give it that. It's almost like they took a break after writing the first half and then like wrote something else and got more writing experience and then wrote the second half. That's kind of how it read to me. But just overall, it wasn't my jam. Okay, so this is what I got so far. So I have the title page, which again is just, sorry for the squeaking. Nothing special, but it gets the job done. This is my rating system. which is 5 stars to 1 star. Of course, 5 stars is a book that I absolutely loved and have no complaints about and would absolutely recommend and read again. 4 stars is a book that I loved, but that didn't quite give me the 5-star feel. Minor complaints and would recommend and likely read again. 3 stars is a book that was okay, I enjoyed it enough to read, but wasn't anything special. Likely wouldn't read again and only recommend to specific people. Like, if I know that you are like super into that genre, I may recommend it to you, but like otherwise I probably wouldn't bother. 2 star is poorly written and not enjoyable to read, but somehow still got through it. Would not read unless to hate annotate. Would not recommend. 1 stars. I was a little sassy with this one, maybe a little harsh, but if I give a book 1 stars, it's just, in my opinion, absolute garbage. Not necessarily objectively, but in my opinion. I wrote absolute garbage, and the world is lucky I picked this up at all, much less finished it, which is harsh. Yes, but I very, very rarely give out 1 stars. Like, it's gotta be bad for me to give it 1 stars. Out of the 30 books that I read in 2023, I gave 1 star review, and I gave like 5 or 6 5 stars. So there's that. And then these are all of the books that I read in 2023. I kind of wish the pages like matched a little bit better, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter that much. Oh my gosh. So I have the first 12 books. I do have them in order of when I read them. So I have the first 12 books here and their ratings. And then the rest of the books here. And then I did go ahead and calculate my average rating, which was like 3.75 or something like that, or 3.7, something like that. Sorry, I've been having a lot of issues with my allergies and my asthma, and for some reason it's like not wanting me to talk right now. But this is how I did this page. And I actually kind of like how it looks. It looks fine. Like, it's not like the most amazing, but it's good enough. And then this was my first book review page. And I think I'm going to stick with this format, like relatively stick with it. This was the first book that I finished, that I read in 2023. And it was not good. It was not good. But also this keeps sticking up and that's super annoying. Like a piece of tape or something I can stick that down with. Okay, there we go. I did count out enough for every book to have 1 page, but then I realized like I wanted to skip a line when I wrote, because otherwise I feel like it would just get all like mashed together, kind of like how it did here, and I don't want these pages to look like that. So my review of this was like I had to be more brief than I thought I would have to be. So I think I'm going to end up with more double page spreads than I thought. So I'm going to have to move these. The paper comes off relatively easily, like it's coming off just fine, but I don't know if like I leave it here for a couple weeks, if it's going to set and not come up again. So I think I need to go through and decide how many I'm going to need a double page for. So like, I think I can do just 1 there. Probably just 1 on each of these as well. Yeah, probably just one on those. And on those. I think I'll do a double on this one. And a double on that one. And on that one, I guess. And then, although I gave this book only 2.5 stars, I have a lot of opinions on that, so we're gonna do the double on that. We're gonna do singles on both of those. Double on that. Singles on those. Double on that. This is tough. I may put these out of order just so that I don't have to like skip a page. So I may put that out of order so that I can do just one. No, because I kind of want to do a double on this one. Maybe I'll do a double on this one and like just make it mostly decorative. Yeah, double on that. Double on, I'm doing doubles on more than I thought I would, just because these are actually here before I take those out. I might actually. I'm actually going to do a double spread on these, kind of, but I'm going to put them together because the way that these books read, I read them back to back and then they also pick up exactly where the other one left off. So it's on, I kind of read them like one big book. So I may put them together. No, or maybe I'll like put them, I'll put them side by side because my thoughts on them are very similar. Those will have a single. This is another one where I want to do a single, but the next one in line, I want to do a double. So I'm going to put these out of order so that I can do singles on those and a double on here. So then those stickers need to be moved to over here. Where are they? There we go. And okay, well, let's not do that, please. Okay. There we go. Now those are in the correct place. The only thing is now that if I take these out of order, I don't think I'll forget which ones I want to do. Oh, I skipped a page. Fudge. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna take these back out. Because I can't really write on the pages with them in here. They're bulking it up too much in an uneven fashion. So hopefully I remember what I wanted to do with all these. And apparently now I have an extra page, so maybe I'll do a double for each of the, like, Pretty Girls Make Graves and the other book. but I'm not going to do these right now. I will probably do a separate video to finish those because this is already taking me way longer than I thought it would. So that is the beginning of my book journal, and once I do all the reviews on these, I'll be able to go ahead and start with 2024, which will be great. But this is going to take up way more than I expected it to in this journal, which I'm not complaining about. It's just surprising. So I still have quite a bit left after that, though. So, yay. All right. That is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully it wasn't as chaotic as it felt. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.